It's Drewski McGillicuddy's 5 zombie movies you've probably never heard of. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and I decided to take some time out of my busy schedule to talk to you about 5 zombie movies you've probably never heard of. Because you're too busy watching A Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No, I'm kidding. But, anyway. It's gonna be, maybe it's gonna be short, maybe it'll be long. I don't know how long I'm gonna talk about these movies. A lot of them I haven't seen in a really long time. But I remember them good enough to tell you about it. So if you haven't seen these movies, be sure to let me know that you haven't seen them so I can point and laugh at you. If you have seen these movies, let me know so I can give you a virtual high five and we can point and laugh at all the other nerds that haven't seen these movies. Jason Smith, let me know if you've seen these movies. I'm sure you've seen some of them. The first one, starting off, is a 2003 Australian flick called Undead. And this is kind of like Night of the Comet in a way, because there's a meteorite or meteor shower or something, and it turns everybody in this small little village into crazy zombie people. But there's also aliens in this movie. This is also somewhat of a horror comedy, so if you're looking for a serious zombie action film or just a serious zombie horror film, maybe you won't like this, because I noticed a lot of people don't like to laugh when they're being scared. But this is an excellent little, I mean, it's underrated as fuck too. It's only got like a 5.5 or some shit. But if you're an actual horror fan, you know what I mean. If you're an actual horror fan, you're gonna probably like this a lot. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's pretty good. Yeah. And Australia, I don't think I've ever really seen a bad Australian film. I mean, I'm not out seeking Australian films, but Undead, it's definitely underrated or underappreciated, whatever you want to call it. All right, so number 4, this one I need to get my hands on, because this movie was like a breath of fresh air when I first saw it, because it was right around when zombie movies were kind of getting stale. We had like the remake of Dawn of the Dead, then we had the remake of Day of the Dead, and it's kind of back when like Diary and all of George's sad attempts at zombie movies were coming out, and that's 2009's Doghouse. Now I think this is a British. They have accents. I'm not as good as Devon Huntley is with accents. So if you've seen this movie and you know what is, I could have looked it up. I could have looked it up, but I wasn't going to, because I just wanted to talk about what I could remember or something. I don't know. Anyway, Doghouse. It's got these guys. I think it's a bachelor party, and they go to this little village, just like in the other one. This little village where all of the women have been turned into man-eating, like zombie-type creatures. Now, these might not actually be zombies, but it's zombie enough to be on my zombie list that you've never heard of, probably. Or whatever the fuck the title of this thing is. It's a bunch of bitches trying to eat these dudes! I mean, what else do I need to tell you to get you in the seats to watch this? It's pretty badass. So yeah. And the next movie is even more badass, because I actually watched this not too long ago, and if it's still on Netflix, I highly recommend, soon after this video's over, maybe going to Netflix and typing this into the search bar. That's Wormwood, Road of the Dead, from 2014. This is also an Australian flick. Now, we start off with this guy, and him and his wife are trying to escape the outbreak, and, you know, I don't really want to tell you, but he end up meeting up with these band of ragtag, what do you call them? Aborigines. And it's basically Mad Max, but zombies. Mad Max with zombies, that's what it is. It even says so probably on the cover, for all I know. But that's what it is, because they're driving around in the fancy reinforced cars, they're wearing hockey pads. They're wearing hockey pads. Anyway, so yeah, if you haven't seen Wormwood Road of the Dead, it's a pretty badass movie. I normally don't watch movies back to back, but the first time I saw this, I immediately, the next day, sat down the secretary and said, watch this. Tell me this ain't fucking awesome. And she agreed. It's fucking awesome. Now if I could just do that with Mean Girls. Speaking of girls, number 2 is 2016's, and some of you might have heard of this, but you probably haven't fucking seen it. The Girl with All the Gifts. Now, if there were ever a Last of Us movie, this would be it. All it's missing is, a guy trying to get a girl. Well, actually, no. No, I guess it is pretty much The Last of Us. I mean, there's some slight differences. There's not as much gunplay. There's not as much because see, the outbreak is somewhat controlled in this, so there's no wasteland or anything. It's still somewhat of a civilized world, and they have a cream. They have a topical ointment that you can put on so that these zombie kids or the zombies in general don't want to eat you. But that's only it. Well, shit, I guess there is. Yeah, there's a border. I don't fucking know. I haven't seen it since 2016. Maybe I'll watch it again. Maybe we can all have a conversation about it in the comment section down below. Or just over in Killer Flicks. I don't care. Just start talking about something other than the big 3. No, I'm kidding. You can talk about whatever you want. It's a free country. Unless you're into some other country. But even then, it's probably still a free country. You're allowed to. All right, number 1. Number 1. That was my paper drum roll. Number 1, I had posted about in Killer Flicks the other day. This movie might be better than Shaun of the Dead. Now, that might be blasphemy to some people, but it even says so right on the box. And that's... fuck. I'm just going to guess and say 2009's Hide and Creep. That or it's 2011. I watched it right when Blockbuster was going out of business, and I absolutely loved it. This movie is fucking hilarious, and it's so low budget, so it bothers me when people want to talk about movies with God damn it, where is it? You're gonna have to excuse me for a minute. Midnight Horror Collection. Yeah, so I do not actually have the physical copy of it. I have to be lame. Where the fuck is it? There it is. It's right there. And it kind of pisses me off because the rest of these movies probably suck. I'm not willing to watch them just yet, but maybe one of these days I'll sit down and watch it. But Hide and Creep, I need that shit on Blu-ray, even though it won't matter because it was shot on what looked like a budget of $40,000. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but it makes up for it with the script and the performances. Because these people know they're in a fucking low-budget zombie movie. And it's just... I mean, maybe it's satire or maybe it just turned out this way. But I fucking love this movie. And maybe I'll sit down and watch it and we'll have a little review ski. Or maybe I'll watch all these movies eventually and I'll review them. Since, I don't know what else I'm doing. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Somebody help me. Anyway, Hide and Creep. Have you seen it? If you haven't seen it, immediately go out and watch this and come back and let me know. Or at least thank me. Say, oh, thanks, Drewski. I don't know what I would do without you. I'd probably be watching Friday the 13th, A Nightmare on Elm Street Halloween! No, I'm kidding. Like the video. Subscribe. I'm going to go get ready. My buddy's coming over, and we're going to watch Friday the 13th Part 6, and we're going to do a little collaboration review. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Be good to each other.